Hey, it's Mike Brennan. We're back again with, our first show of the year. We have one of our regulars on, Kathleen Norton-Schock from the Michigan Council of Women in Technology. And we're going to be turning this segment over to her. So she's going to be interviewing Lori Koza, who is the executive director of the Michigan Council of Women in Technology. Me and Matt will just sort of sit back and drink coffee and watch this. So take it away, Kathleen.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Matt. Happy New Year. It's always exciting to launch a new year. I'm really excited about this particular show. We are able to bring on Lori Koza, who is our executive director. She's been in that role now for us for 6 months. She's, I think, our fifth executive director, because as you remember, when we got started, we were pure volunteers for at least a decade. So we're really lucky to have someone like her accept this role. She has been a volunteer for MCWT in addition to all the other things she does, and I'll talk about that in a second, for over 2 decades. So she has a very strong understanding of where we've come from, where we have been, and what we're going to talk about today a little bit is where she hopes to take us in the future in 2026. So just to give you a little bit of background, Lori has been a sales leader at some of the most major technology companies there are. AWS, a division of a little company called Amazon, VMware, CrowdStrike, Tanium, and ServiceNow are all, she's an alumna of all of those companies. And they all have made waves in SaaS and in enterprise software for a long time. So, of course, she's a very, very strong IT background. And as I said, she's a Michigan, I haven't said she's a Michigan native, but she is. And so making Michigan the #1 state for women in technology has been part of her lexicon for quite a while. So, Lori, thank you for joining us today. This is so
Thank you.
great. As you know, MI Tech News has been a big supporter of us for at least 15 years and maybe more.
Yes,
Um,
thank you.
yeah, so thanks so much for joining. Let's get right into it. 2026 is bound to be an exciting year for, I think, our entire economy, our culture, the United States, and of course, your MCWT.
Yep.
And I know, Lori, that you've been thinking a lot, even before you took this role months ago, about what you would like to see MCWT morph into and evolve to. So I think my first question for you is, if you were to characterize your top 3 goals that you want the MCWT team, your paid team, your extensive group of volunteers, and your strong boards to strive to achieve this year, what would those 3 goals be?
Yeah, thanks, Kathleen. So I've thought a lot about this, and 2026 is going to be a pivotal year for us. So what I came up with for the goals is an acronym called ISC. And so that is impact, sustainability, and community. So I'm super excited to be able to get into these with you because first of all, we want to deepen our impact across the talent pipeline. And we want to do that all the way from K through 12, all the way through executive leadership. And so we're doing this with even greater intention than in the past. And we're really focusing on the program quality and extending that even more throughout Michigan. And so one of the things we want to do is clearly measuring these outcomes of our work and being able to show that real impact. The second thing that I talked about was sustainability. And we want to really focus on a strong and sustainable organization. And so what that really means is diversifying our funding, strengthening some of our internal systems and our processes, which we're doing now, and ensuring our staff has all the tools and support that they need to do their very best work and to focus on our mission. So that sustainability will allow us to really serve more women long term and then be there for the future. And then the third thing that I wanted to focus on, the third goal, is really about activating and uniting our community. We think that that's so important. And we couldn't do what we do, as you know, Kathleen, without our volunteers. Our group is pretty small and lean. So we appreciate all of our board members, our volunteers, our sponsors, our partners, and they're critical to our success. So we're really, really focused on engaging them as true ambassadors for MCWT. So what they're doing is they are advocating for us, they're mentoring, they're opening doors, and they're really helping to move our mission forward. So together with impact, sustainability, and community, that's how we're going to move things forward in 26.
That's excellent, really excellent. And of course, we're in tech. We love acronyms. It makes everything
Yep.
so much
Yep,
more,
for sure.
much
It's
more easily
easy to
understood.
remember.
Um, is there anything that MCWT has done in the past that, because you are focusing here very, I'm not going to say narrowly because that's not a narrow niche, but very in a very focused way, is there anything in the past that MCWT may say no to this year that maybe we've traditionally done before?
Well, we're really, really focusing narrowly on what we're going to be doing in this next year. It's so important, and we're probably going to be saying no to several things. We've said no to expanding our programs outside of the reach of the staff because we are a lean staff. We want to do the programs that we're doing very, very well, and so we're taking a look at that. We're also wanting to make sure that we're staying focused on our mission. And so we're taking a look at things that maybe don't align to the mission, and we're saying no to those because we really want to be targeted and super focused on the mission.
Okay. For many economists and business leaders, 2026 is widely expected to be a year of shifting funding priorities, particularly in the nonprofit space. How are you specifically diversifying MCWT's revenue to reduce dependency on what you might think of as uncertain sources?
Mhm.
And what new funding sources are you exploring?
Yeah, I know I've had many conversations with several of the companies that have supported us in the past, so we're really aware of a shift in funding priorities. And so what I always say is multiple streams. So we're really diversifying in multiple streams. First of all, we're strengthening and expanding our corporate partnerships, and not just through the sponsorships, but through a deeper multi-year relationships that include employee engagement. So we're getting the employees really engaged, program investment, and really taking a look at what are those shared outcomes so we can see that there's an impact. One of the other things that we're doing is we're growing individual giving. So we're focusing on donor stewardship and then also reoccurring giving. I know some of the donors that we have automatic deductions out of their paycheck because they want to continue to give, and they'll give a little bit out of each paycheck so that they can continue giving in tight times. So we really appreciate that too. And then third, of course, we're continuing with our event-based revenue. Some of our big strategic events, as you know, right? Like our gala, our golf classic, and some of those other signature programs. So
Mhm.
we're really making sure that we're aligned with that and continuing. We also are focusing on some new things, some new funding sources. And so we're talking right now with a couple companies about multi-year corporate commitments. So not just 1 year, what could they possibly do for multiple years, and getting those connected to our fund development. New foundation partners. Right now, um, we're looking at different grants. We're looking at different foundations. Outside of that, we've got a whole grants team now that we're putting in place that can really help us to take a look outside of where we've done before. And then also expanded giving circles and then leadership donations. We've had quite a bit of that. At the gala, we saw quite a bit of that with some of the executives who really appreciated how much that we're on mission and what we've done to touch so many girls and women's lives that said, I'm in. Let's, I want to be able to have an executive donation. So we appreciate that. And so really the goal is to not have any real reliance on any single funding stream, but to have multiple sources of funding throughout the year.
Okay. We
Yeah.
only have about 4 minutes. I'm going to
Okay,
compress
sure.
two questions together, but that was a great answer.
Okay.
Is there a specific AI tool or some other emerging technology that MCWT might move
Yeah,
they've been experimenting with, and they might move to be more of a core operational tool in
sure.
2026, and why the one you're going to talk about?
Okay, yes. So on the program side, we're embedding AI directly into high school curriculum. We're super excited about this. And so we have some of the AI practitioners in the field coming together with our program managers to put this into some of the high school curriculum. So we're super excited about that when we're showing them how to use it responsively and creatively. So that's exciting. We're also expanding this year with one of the grants we got into drone programming. So that's fun. So that's going to be for middle school and high school students. And we're going to connect coding and problem solving and real world applications in a tangible way so they can see that. One more thing we're in the process of testing is a virtual reality program for middle school. So that's going to be fun. We're in the process of that. So those things together will really, really help. From a fundraising perspective, AI is helping us to tell our story better, right? To get more clearer data, stronger narratives, and more personalization. Internally, we're helping, AI is helping us with our program evaluation, our communication, our reporting. Any way we can take any manual tasks and automate those things, it's really helping us with this lean team that we have.
Excellent,
Yeah.
excellent. So the next question may be a little bit repetitive for you, but you talked a lot about using data to
Mm-hmm.
get our themes out there and our message out there.
Right.
What will be, besides ISC, do you have one key theme? Um, and
Yeah.
how will you get to those stories? You talked already about the data collection. Are there other methods or other things you want to emphasize?
Yeah, so we're using data not to just report activity, but to tell a meaningful story that has impact. That's number
Mhm.
one for us. So I would say the theme for this would be focusing on outcomes over outputs. And we haven't done that. We're doing that now. So we're going to show how our programs are moving girls and women into education and careers and leadership positions, right? And having that data. So I think that that's really important on the impact that we have.
Great, great. Yeah, I mean, for instance, we've given over $2 million worth of scholarships now. Stories about the women who did that at the beginning and now we're in the middle of, let's say, the early stages of their career couldn't be better, right? So,
Absolutely.
Lori, if you were to summarize your philosophy and plan on how you're going to help make MCWT continue to thrive and grow, what would you say to us?
Well, I say it's pretty simple. The philosophy, it's just like what we started with, the whole ISC. I'm going to continue to say that because we're going to stay deeply focused on our impact, our sustainability, and the people, the people in the community. That's so, so important for us to be able to build strong and resilient organization and then also engage the community, engage the board members, partners. Super, super important. And it's not that we want to just do more for the sake of doing more, but it's doing the right things exceptionally well. We want to do what we do and do it very, very well. And this is going to help us stay grounded in our mission to advance women and girls in technology. So I'm super excited about it. And I want to say if anybody has heard something that they really resonate with, please connect with us. We're really excited to move forward with this year. So whether you want to volunteer, donate, sponsor, we're happy to have you.
And so, for anybody who does want to get in touch with Lori or with MCWT, our website is www.mcwt.org. Simply go to the page of the About Us. Her email is there, our address is there, our phone numbers are there. And then if you go to programs, you'll see the people leading each additional program, all the way from K through 12 up to
Yep,
leadership programs for more mature members. So
exactly.
thanks so much, Lori.